What is the meaning of life? Are morals objective or relative? Does God exist? Do you eat hot dogs for the shape or for the taste? These are questions that have tormented humanity for centuries, and there's no answer that can be 100% confirmed, as each sides have their own great points and rebuttals. All of these questions classify under the definition of debate, which is a formal, regulated discussion or argument between opposing sides, focusing on specific topics or motions, often held in public or academic settings, like Twitter and Reddit. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably spend way too much time scrolling social media. The other day, I was doing just that, and I ended up stumbling across this viral post where Joe Bart was saying how $4,000 is not enough to change someone's life. Now, a rational person would probably be thinking he could just take the 4K, put it on black, then double it 7 more times and make a mill. But unfortunately, most of the discussion around this topic was just people arguing over stupid ass shit. This would all take place when world-renowned Twitter user Yoxic would stop posting about burnt peanut.
Thank you for not letting those bitches take our freedom and our money!
And instead, he would pull up an out-of-context clip from all the way back in January. Basically what happened was after Joe got done reading his $1,000 worth of subs,
Brady, thank you for the 47-month sub. Rift and Warp for the sub. Blue Contra, thank you for the fray. Lucha for the sub 400. Mr. Caden, Slice Papa, J2, Not Ancient, Nuka.
he would click on a video from an ex-Jeopardy contestant. And this guy only won about $1.8 thousand or something. Not gonna lie, if that was me, I'd be mad as f with that amount. Imagine sitting there, studying day in and day out trying to win this show, thinking you might walk away a millionaire, only to not even be able to buy that chrome belt you wanted. I'd probably rather work my 120 hours of minimum wage to make that money. Matter of fact, I'd probably rather pay the $1,800 to not have to do that. Joe would talk about how these big ass game shows barely pay out anything to their contestants, and then some guy would type this in chat.
$4,000 is life-changing money. No, it's not. What? $4,000. It helps you. It's helping you in the next 3-4 months. It's not life-changing money. A life-changing amount of money to win is like $100,000. That's life-changing.
Now, a lot of people were calling Joe hypocritical for this take, which is pretty fair, but I feel like he's still allowed an opinion on the subject. Like, just because you're not actively dealing with a problem doesn't mean that you can't have a take on it. But a lot of people wanted to bring up Joe's financial position, so let's just see how rich he really is. I feel like I'm pretty qualified to answer this. I've worked for some of the biggest creators in the industry for a while, and I've seen a lot of their numbers behind the scenes. If we want to pocket watch Joe Bart, we have to start off with the views. Now, he has 5 channels, which total to around 8 million subscribers. And we're not going to count his shorts channel, because he stopped posting on there, and the revenue's probably nothing compared to his other channels. But on Joe Bart's main channel, he got around 86 million views this month. On his gaming channel, he got 44 million views. His VOD channel got 7.7 million views, and his philosophy channel got around 5 million views, which totals to around 143 million views. Now, you have to know for the YouTube side of things, Joe's videos are as little as 40 minutes and can be up to 2 hours in length, which the longer the video is, the higher the YouTube payout will be because it can show more ads. And other streamers that I worked for, videos around 40 minutes long would average around an $8 to $9 RPM. And to be even more conservative, we'll say that Joe has a $7 RPM. And that would be $1 million a month off ad revenue alone. And on the Twitch side of things, he probably gets like a 730 sub split, which is guaranteed because of the Partner Plus program. And he has around 21,000 active subscribers, which would bring in around $73,000 a month. And if we look at ad revenue on Twitch, we can see here that Stable Ronaldo leaked his. And if we take his numbers and try to estimate it for Joe, it comes out to around $48,000 a month. If this wasn't enough, he also takes a few sponsors. Not as many now, but in the past he took stuff like DraftKings, which is so insane because this dude is already making so much money, and these gambling companies pay a lot. He also has merch and stuff, but if you're buying Joe Bart merch, you might need to be looked into.
John in Tennessee, go ahead, what you want to say?
So I would say all in all, he's probably making around $1 to $1.5 million a month, and that would add up to around like $12 to $18 million a year. Now, before you get mad that this rich asshole is calling you broke, let's use our brains for a second. The context of the clip was obviously based off America. So the people arguing that you'd be a quadrillionaire in Lebanon, I mean, yeah, that's true, but that's not at all what he was talking about. And like most arguments, the answer usually just comes down to what is your definition of the subject. And to me and most other people, I feel like life-changing is an event that happens and changes the trajectory of your life forever. And for most of us, $4,000 is just not gonna do that. I mean, have you seen the college tuition rates? Yeah, there's probably some struggling single parent out there where $4,000 means that you can fix your car right as it's about to break down, and then it stops you from going homeless or something. But obviously, this is not going to do anything extraordinary, especially if it's going to a game show contestant, which is literally just a rich person circle jerk. And if I didn't make it clear enough, I agree with Joe, and if you're sitting there mad as hell typing out paragraphs, maybe just get your money up. I'm just kidding. Kind of. The next hot take we have comes from Lacey, who says he needs $10 million to feel rich. Yes, this is the last money one, I promise. Now, Lacey loves to rage bait the average person, but like, he didn't really put anyone down here. He just kind of set his own personal goals. And everyone has a different definition of rich to them. To some, it might be starting a family, you know, having kids. To Lacey, it's having 10 mil in the bank and eating 10,000 calories a day. So overall, I'd say this take is based, don't compare yourself to others and just stick on your own path. But if you're not a millionaire by 21, then your life is basically over, not gonna lie. This next hot take is a classic. Is streaming harder than a 9 to 5? This is probably the most nuanced one on here, and both sides have a great point, depending on how extreme they want to make it. Like, they could say a 9 to 5 is open heart surgery, and streaming is like Queso, who just boots up his stream and plays games. But for most streamers, when they answer this question, they'll either just rage bait or lie and pander to their audience saying what they know they want to hear. Like, I promise you most streamers believe that it is harder than a 9 to 5, but I'm here to answer this objectively. What most people don't take into account is that when they think of streaming, they think of these multi-millionaires with thousands of viewers, but this is only like 0.0001% of Twitch. Most streamers will probably never even touch 20 average viewers because they're ass. Now, I personally think that coming up as a streamer is harder than the average 9 to 5. Although for the most part, once you're already up, it's way easier. The top percentage of streamers isn't really comparable to a 9 to 5. It's more like a CEO almost. So the argument should be pivoted to what's harder, a CEO or a worker for the company. So if we're removing the top 1% from both, I think streaming is harder. And by 1%, I mean like top 1% of difficulty and financials. Because these people just think about the money. But yeah, if the roles are reversed, I'd rather be a construction worker earning $1 million per year than a streamer earning 50K. And for streaming also, when they say you never clock out, that shit is so true. Like, you'll see these bums on LSF who have loaded up a 2-minute stream one time and say that it's easy, but to everyone else actually grinding and will make it, they think about streaming 24/7, like their job becomes their life. When I was living in a streamer house for 2 weeks, pretty much every waking hour was spent on streaming and planning. And to be honest, I think the average person just isn't built for some shit like that. Maybe I'm wrong though. But again, this debate is something that's so situational that people turn into a broad argument. Like Ty Lil, who literally just got put on by Kai, and he's saying that a 9 to 5 is harder because you gotta wake up early.
I've actually worked a 9 to 5. I know what it's like to really be out and to really have to wake up at 7, to wake up at 6, get ready, work with people that you don't even like.
Like, yeah, you also had to do that in middle school, but no one thinks it's harder than streaming. I mean, Ty Lil definitely did put in his own work, but he's just not the best person to speak on this. And if you're not a top earning streamer and you're making around the same money as the 9 to 5, not knowing how much your next paycheck will be could be super stressful. But to be fair, a lot of streamers that came up also just got lucky or got big from being the best at games too. All in all, everyone in this conversation is biased. Except for me, obviously. So the answer is 9 to 5s are harder than streaming, and the hardest working streamers is harder than a 9 to 5. I mean, look at this guy. Do you know how hard it is to catch a treat midair? After that last groundbreaking take, the last thing that I want to talk about is people saying, oh, streaming is the method, or YouTube is the method. Whenever someone says that something is the method, it's either a scam or just hard work. Like, none of that is actually going to get you rich. Almost everyone that tries out streaming is going to fail, and a lot of the time, the stars have to align perfectly for things to work out, even if you're doing everything right. Look at Blackboy Max, for example. He has a great personality, he knows a lot about YouTube, and grew a channel to 100K before he even started on Twitch. But also, the stuff that blew him up, like reacting to What Are You Listening To videos, would just not work out in 2026. Live channels and clipping are pretty dead for the most part, and the conversion is terrible. And also, people that would point out big YouTube channels, like Jack Pockets for example, and say, oh bro, this is the method. Like, no, this is literally just a job. All of the different parts of this video can be broken down into their own jobs, like researching, scripting, editing, filming. All you're doing is just combining them. And all this stuff takes hours of work and a lot of skill with no guaranteed reward. Let me know if you agree, or maybe these are the worst takes you've ever heard, and I'm a dumbass. Either way, let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.